Welcome back to Living Local. It is Tasty Tuesday here at Living Local, which means it's also time for another installment of our Community Plate Series, where we explore the culture and cuisine here in the Quad Cities. Today we're previewing the grand opening of Rico's Tropical Tacos to Go. And here with us in studio, of course, to do that is Chef Stu. Thank you so much for joining us today again, sir.
Thank you, Zane.
So we've been talking about Rico's, obviously, a few different times in the recent past. If I remember right, you were having kind of a soft opening type of situation, right?
Sure.
A little while ago. But for those who aren't familiar, we're going to talk about the grand opening coming up. Why don't you just tell us, for those who aren't familiar, what Rico's Tropical Tacos is to go?
Yeah. So it's a really small little place out by the Betplex. The address is 5039 Competition Drive, if you want to look it up. But it's got a pickup window. You can drive up, you can place an order, all kinds of stuff like that, and that's neat. But what we do is tropical tacos. That's what the name's all about. But it's Latin Caribbean food.
So that's what does tropical mean?
Yeah. So it's like Cuban influences and Puerto Rican and Mexican, and so it's all kind of about the meat and how we cook that. And so what we do is we have a chicken, a beef, a pork, and a chorizo that we make ourselves, and then we have a vegan option as well.
Excellent. Now, when is the grand opening that you have?
So this week is our grand opening week. We've finally made it to this week.
Finally, yes, it's going to happen. Now, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. So when you go to Rico's, it's not a sit-down restaurant, or is it? Can you sit down? We can now seat you. There are a few seats there. I wouldn't plan to sit there, but there is a place. And the thing is we weren't sure if we would be open for lunch at all. And we've decided, part of our grand opening week, our extended hours. Now on Fridays and Saturdays, we'll be open at noon instead of 4. And so we'll have lunch available. So we thought a few seats would come in handy. And we put them in the dining room. Okay, yeah, a few seats, right, you mentioned. Now, how do people go ahead and get their orders in if they're going to do your, like, pick-up, whatever you call it, drive-up, something window situation?
Yeah. So they can call it in, and they can also order online, which is kind of the preferred method, because they're going to be able to see all the descriptions and everything on the menu as soon as they pop that open at ricostropicaltacos.com. It actually sends them to Zeke's website as well, so they can choose either one.
All right.
And they get all the information they need. They can also pull up to the window and place an order. We take walk-ups. We're kind of treating this like a food truck, if you will, because people are just kind of meandering around and checking out what's going on over by the Betplex. Yeah. They walk right up to the drive-thru window, place an order, they go sit down somewhere else, and we bring it over to them, or we call them up and let them know it's ready.
Yeah, it's probably a good setup with, like you said, there's a lot of foot traffic out there, a lot of stuff going on. Now, let's talk about the menu a little bit more in depth. You kind of talked about the inspiration behind what you're doing. What all can people get there out at Rico's? I mean, we've got some nachos here we're going to talk about in a second, tacos. What all is available?
So we've really focused on keeping it as simple as possible. So we have tacos, and we have nachos, and then we have chips and dips, and that's pretty much the only sections you'll find on the menu. Our taco flight is probably our biggest seller. It's a street taco sized taco, and you can get it in corn, which is gluten-free, or flour, and it's a taco with it's 4 tacos, one of each of our meats. And so we always say, like, well, so what was your favorite one? What are you going to order, like an order of 3 of? And they're like, I don't know, I guess I'm just going to get another taco flight. So, but we do have people that are like, oh, the chorizo was so good. So then they come in and they get an order of street tacos or grande tacos. We also have cowboy tacos, which are just meat and cheese.
Just the bare bones.
So it's a little extra meat, little extra cheese, none of that other stuff.
The people who aren't into all the different colors and things. Okay, perfect. Now, why don't you tell me about this that we brought in here today? Right.
So nachos is kind of in our DNA, in our company, and it just lends itself very well. And so these are so what we actually make is a tres quesos nachos, because we have our queso Rico sauce, and that's what we put on. And then we put cheddar cheese and crumble white cheese. This one here has also had our mojo chicken added to it. So you can get it with meat, without meat, all that kind of stuff. And this is the meal size. We have a smaller one that's an appetizer and an even smaller one that's a side. You can just be like, I want tacos and a side of nachos.
So can I try it? Is it done?
You can. It's probably not as hot.
Oh, well, that's worse things have happened.
Okay. So.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to,
Yeah,
like,
no,
you know,
that's the
bite
real
something
deal.
raw in here.
Nope. No, it's good. And the queso that we put on first, that's kind of the thing. Like we really put a lot of time and energy into it. It's not like anybody else's queso. It stands apart.
Good. I mean, it's not hot, obviously.
Right.
But listen, TV, we have limitations here. But it's good. No, excellent. What is it? Oh, is this
So that's our salsa
too?
verde that we
Okay.
make. Yep, we make 2 salsas. So that brings me around to our chips and dips. We actually have a promotion this week. If you put in grand opening in the promo code, you will get added to your order. You can choose either our salsa and chips or our queso and dips, and you'll get that for free with your order.
Okay. Is that the deal that's going on for the grand openings?
That's
the
what
main
we're
one?
going to do this week. Yep.
Perfect. As always, Chef Stu, thanks so much for coming in. We're at the grand opening. It's coming up when exactly again?
It starts today.
Oh, it starts today. Okay.
Promo
I was
starts
like,
today.
is it this week? Perfect. Thank you so much for coming in.
bet.
As always, thank you for bringing food, too. That always is exciting. If you want more of what Chef Stu has to offer on his menu, just head over to Zeke'sIslandCafe.com. Also have those details posted on our website, too, ourquadcities.com.